Alright guys, what's going on? Today I want to talk with you about how you can use the floor bag to enhance your grappling game when you don't have a training partner. Those of you who are grapplers, maybe you're a mixed martial arts, presumed jiu-jitsu player, something like that, you know that when you're training grappling, having a partner is pretty much essential. A lot of these things you just can't learn without a partner. Unfortunately, you find yourself a lot of times without a training partner. And once you learn a technique, you could do some shadow rolling, some shadow grappling, where you're on the mat and you're just kind of miming some of the moves and the movements. And that is somewhat effective, maybe. It's better than nothing. But a better alternative is to get some sort of floor bag, some sort of grappling dummy, because it offers you some sort of resistance. It gives you an obstacle. You have to maneuver around. It has some weight to it, like a partner would, and it just makes your whole solo training session much more effective than if you were just, kind of just you and the mat. I really recommend you go out and find yourself some sort of floor bag, and really all a floor bag needs to be is just an old heavy bag, and that's all this is. You can find old heavy bags, on Craigslist for very cheap. I picked up this one for $40 a couple years back, and if you just kind of lurk on your sporting goods section on your local Craigslist, you'll find one pretty easy. It might take a couple of days, but eventually one will pop up. So I definitely recommend you get one. You can go out on Amazon and you can get yourself a more expensive grappling dummy. Some of them, they have different shapes. I've seen some UFC ones that have the kind of almost like bowling balls or whatever. So they've got different shapes to them. You see the grappling dummies, which are, they have the arms and the legs. Those get kind of pricey. I don't think that they're necessary because you can get by just as well with just a simple heavy bag laying on the floor. A lot of times with a heavy bag though, you will have some sort of mounting hardware. I just kind of removed that with an X-Acto knife, and this will take it a beating, so that tape it up. You'll definitely have to tape yours up. Because some of the different kind of drills you can do on it. You can practice your throwing techniques. You can kind of use it in lieu of a sandbag. If you don't have a sandbag, this is 50. This one's 50 pounds. You can give them 50, 60, 70 pounds. I wouldn't go much heavier than 100 pounds for a floor bag, unless you're just a big, strong guy. I only weigh, I fight at 155. So, 50, 70 pounder is enough for me. Working your grappling, working your ground and pound, working your throws, it's going to take a beating. But I definitely recommend you get one. Today, one thing I want to go over with you, I want to show you just a quick sequence of drills that you can do to kind of give you an idea of how you can utilize the floor bag to work on your ground game. In another video, I'll go over some throwing techniques with another post. We'll talk about that, but really right now I want to go over just some of that ground fighting stuff. So one sequence I like to use quite a bit is I start off the sequence. I imagine I am in my opponent's guard. So I'm here, okay? I'm tucked in nice and tight. I've got my body weight on my opponent. I might be kind of close. He might be trying to pull me. And then I transition from here. I bow up. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to mime as though I'm getting out of my opponent's guard. So I'm just going to do just the very first basic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guard escape that they teach everyone. I'm going to put my weight here on my opponent's belly and shift, bring that leg out. That's going to stretch his guard. I've got my knee right up against his ass. I'm going to take my elbow. I'm going to drive it into his thigh just to create just enough gap so I can get this knee in through, step over, pull out, and then come in for a side mount. Again, I'm putting weight onto the bag, just like you would your opponent. Okay, I might come up, maybe give it a couple strikes, maybe mime a kimura, something like that. Anything you want from this position. And then what I'm going to do, my next transition is going to be to a knee on belly. So I'm going to just keeping my weight, I got on my chest, real quick transition, knee on belly, maybe deliver a few strikes. Then I'm going to transition to a full mount. So I'm here, give it a couple more strikes. You're trying to buck me off. So I'm here, I transition right here. He's trying to buck me off. Bring it in, maybe give him a couple other strikes. And then again, I'm going to transition to knee on belly the other side. So I'm keeping my weight on the bag. I'm not carrying any weight necessarily here. I'm making my opponent carry all my weight. And I'm just gonna shift to knee on belly for the other side. A couple strikes, and then immediately I'm gonna go into side mount on the other side. And again, I might mime a kimura on this side, whatever. Okay. And then from here, I go back to being in my opponent's guard, just like in the beginning. And I'll cycle through that. I'll set a timer for a few minutes, and I'll just cycle through like that. And that's a pretty good flow, to use. It gives you kind of an idea of other stuff you can use. Just play with it. Play around with the bag. See what different kind of things you can think up. Don't feel like you're just limited to this one set of drills I'm showing here. Like I said, that's just to give you a basic idea on how to use this tool. It is very effective. You set up a 3 to 5 minute round of that, and you're just going through, and you can play with it. You can freestyle it. You can freestyle it. You can set up a predetermined flow of drills, whatever you want to do, and that's a pretty good workout. Throw that in with maybe some regular heavy bag work, maybe some sprawl practice, and then some floor bag work. You've got yourself a full solo workout right there. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. Appreciate it, guys. If you do like this technique, please hit that like button. I'm always coming out with more videos, so I would really appreciate it if you do subscribe to my channel. Thanks a bunch. Sawadee ka.